Welcome to another amazing edition of Pixels Pulse 4.0. Now, in this edition of Pixels Pulse, we are going to be having our amazing creative professional, Mr. Olamiji Bello, taking us on another amazing session on creatives briefs or design briefs from the stage of ideation to execution. Pixels Pulse is being run by Ace Creative Community, one of the largest growing creative and tech community that was being created to make creative and tech professionals to be equipped and to be impacted with relevant knowledge and information that will make them or make you relevant in the creative and tech ecosystem. We exist on various platforms like WhatsApp, Telegram, and on WhatsApp, we have 3 communities, that's 3 groups. And on Telegram, we have a fast growing community. We have over 1,000 creative tech professionals, ranging from graphic artists, web designer, front-end and back-end software developers, digital marketing professionals, 2D and 3D designers, animators, motion designers, video editor, photographers, and a wide range of creative and tech professionals. In this edition of Pixels Pulse, which is 100% design practical session that was created by the community to help community members grow and develop in their creative space and their design skills. Now, one thing you would learn about this session is that even though this is the 4th episode, we've had previous episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, you need to know that what we had previous episode that you can always go back to record. Now, let me give you a heads up. This is a live session. Repeat again, this is a live session. So we have various members of the community joining Pixels Pulse 4.0. So if you hear me giving a shout out in the live session, if you're watching the recorded version on YouTube, just know that it is 100% practical live session that has been designed for creative and tech, for creative professionals, especially designers, to be able to improve their skills. Now, me being a digital marketing professional, I'm also a graphic artist. And one thing I know about design is that when you know how to use all the design tools, for example, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe InDesign, and you know how to use all those relevant design as much as Canva, and one of the ways in which you can improve is to watch other experienced designers design. Now, that is the reason why we are having this session. We are having this session whereby we bring an experienced designer in the community in the name of Mr. Olamiji that we've partnered with, who is an art director in one of the leading advertising agency in Lagos, Nigeria. He has handled both local and international brief, and he has beckoned to our call to be able to join our various Pixel session so that he can teach you all the information that you need to be relevant and to improve your design skills. We believe that when you watch various executed designs from the place of ideation, and you watch an experienced graphic artist execute marketing communication brief from the place of ideation and execution, and you see him use tools like Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator, and you see his design process. As a designer, it's going to help you to be able to fine-tune your methodology, to be able to give you a better understanding on how to use the software, and it's going to make you better. So I would like to welcome everybody once again to another amazing edition of Pixels Pulse. Just like our previous edition, I want to promise you that this is going to be a great session. Now, beyond it being a great session, I would also admonish people that are watching on YouTube that if you want to be a part of this fastest growing community, we have 3 WhatsApp group. That's 2 creative and 1 tech group and 1 combined Telegram group. But we also have an online platform where this particular live stream was being recorded from. It is located in Ace Creative Academy Ace Creative Community.com. That is the community platform. and obviously it's being run by an academy, which I mentioned was earlier. So, but what do I mean? I mean that if you are watching this via YouTube, check the description below. You'll see the link where you can register to be part of the community. I repeat, the link is acecreativecommunity.com. I repeat, acecreativecommunity.com. Go there, create an account. It is a social media like platform in which you can communicate, collaborate with other creative and tech professionals. You can collaborate with them, execute projects together, and it's just a community where we want all grow together. Excluding Pixel Sports, we have other amazing sessions that we basically have. We have product design trainings, we have web design trainings. In this coming month, we plan to also have foundational training on data science and artificial intelligence. So I want to promise you that being on acecreativecommunity.com is going to be very, very impactful for you. Not just impactful, it's going to be transformational for you as a creative and as a tech professional. Our vision in Ace Creative Community is that if you're a part of the community and you are committed to attending our training sessions for a space of 6 months, whether you're a graphic artist, a UI UX professional, based on the products and the programs that we do in the community, you will see yourself grow in a sporadic way. So it's just us creative and tech professional holding each other's hands together as we grow in the creative and tech space. You cannot do it all by yourself. You cannot live life on your own. You have to do what we call collaborate with other creative and tech professionals, be in a community like this, and grow together with other people of like minds, of same tribes, and of same passion and of same goals. That's what Ace Creative Community has been created for. So before we start this session, I'm just going to be sharing briefly on just some few topics that I always do. So one of the things that we basically do in the community is that in these sessions, before we get started, is that I always give various tips that will help creative and tech professionals together. Oh, I welcome our speaker, Mr. Olamiji. It's great to have you here. How was your weekend?
Welcome. I'm fine. Welcome, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm 100% sure that you've been trying to sort out some briefs for some of your from your workplace and some of your clients before you came, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right. Is there anything you want to tell community members before I just share one or two tips before you get going?
Actually, I really don't have much, but all I will say is that thank you for joining the class and this section. Today's section is going to be a bit more creative than other sessions I've been doing. I will be doing a bit of little manipulation in this section. I want you guys to get ready for today's section. So that's all I'll have to say at the moment.
All right. So what should be our expectation for this session, please?
So actually, it's the continuation of what we did last week. So we're doing a bit more of sporty campaign that I've been doing before. So this is just an idea of a landscape banner design that I'll be running today. So majorly the brief is for a star scouting industry, which they scout different style for different sports events. So and the name for the campaign is Star Zone, whereby the idea is to do a bit more colorful but still creative brief to attract young minds. So that's the idea.
So what you're saying right now is that in this session, we're going to be getting our hands a little bit more dirty, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
All right, beautiful. So beyond, so what softwares should the users be expecting to use in this session?
So in this session, we'll be using a bit of, we'll be using Illustrator, and we'll be using Photoshop. So I feel trying to blend those, instead of using one software, I love blending both together. So individuals or designers can know how to work with both softwares. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. So thank you so very much for this amazing session. So I'm just going to be sharing while Mr. Olamiji gets ready to share his script, while Mr. Olamiji gets ready to basically share his screen. I'm just going to be sharing just some few tips, which I do sometimes before this session starts. And the reason why I share some of these tips is to get creative and tech professionals. Okay, so as a designer, as a graphic artist, because most of the people that are in these sessions are graphic artists, how do you become productive and how do you become effective as a graphic artist? And here are some basic steps in which you need to do in your creative journey. Number one, you must always, as a creative and tech professional, one of the ways in which you can be effective is that number one, you must have what we call a standard of operation. Now, I see creative and tech professionals reaching out to me and tell me that how is it that most times as a graphic artist, sometimes it takes them time to execute the brief. So I always tell them that always have what we call a standard of operation. Always have a methodology in which you execute brief. Now, I'm not saying this methodology will always be effective all the time, but always have a standard of operation. Now, I know that as a designer, sometimes most of what we do are inspirational. So we always want to go deep to get inspiration. But when you have a standard of operation, just the same way two pilots want to fly a plane, a pilot wants to have a plane, they have what we call checklist in which what they must do. And they know that once they do this checklist, or the engineers that want to work on the plane, once they do this checklist, there's an 99.9% chance that the flight will be okay. So always have a standard of operation. And examples of standard of operation is number one, you must ensure that for every brief, you will do what we call a mental research. So whenever I'm giving a brief to execute, even before I start working on the brief, I start thinking in my mind on what approach do I want to go. Then number two, ensure you do research, meaning that do a market research of the organization. You get what I'm saying right now, the brand research, ask the clients as many questions as possible that will help you execute the brief. You get what I'm saying right now. I'm just talking about standard of operations here. Now, beyond that, also and some of standard of operation I follow as a creative professional. Now, beyond that, also ensure after you ask all the right questions, do what we call research, other people that have done similar briefs. So if you have a flyer, for example, sport design, look at things like UEFA Champions Leagues, look at various clubs, what kind of sport designs do they do? You can go to Behance, you can go to Pinterest, like I get a dribble to get various inspiration. Now, when you do this, something will be spark in you based on the brief that it's going to be like an eureka moment on the approach you want to go. Now, when you do this, then you now narrow it down to various mood boards. So meaning that all the designs you've seen from Pinterest, from Behance, and from all this particular research you've done, you create what we call a mood board. A mood board can be on PowerPoint. Are you getting me now? When you have mood board softwares and all that, or even on your Photoshop and Corel, you just place those designs. Are you getting me now? Or you sketch what you have in mind on a piece of paper. When you've created the mood board, they now go straight into your designs. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? This is what will make it to be effective. As a creative professional, we always have to-do list every day. But I'm narrowing down in executing one creative briefs, always have a standard of operation. Are you getting me now? When you have a standard of operation, a checklist of things that you do, you'll be shocked at in most designs you need to do, you would always be effective. And if you notice, every approach I've mentioned is the approach Mr. Olamiji has always been doing also. He has a standard of operation. Most of the designs that we are teaching you here, he never prepared for most of them. And you get to what I'm saying right now. He literally thinks through it here. And you can see his process are always unison. Do you get it now? He has the brief. When he has the brief, he does the research. When he does the research, he creates the mood board. When he creates the mood board, before he now dives down into the software. People that don't execute designs properly are people that don't do proper research. When you do a proper research and you have a proper mood board or a mental picture of what you want to do, there's an 80% chance that you execute your design brief faster. Now, for more elaborative campaigns, are you getting me? You need to get a strategy team if you're working for an advertising agency to do proper research or copywriters to help you. But if you're a one-man machine, are you getting me? Delivering various creative designs to various clients, do this and to work for you. So, Mr. Olamiji, I'm going to stop here right away. I believe I've been able to give you time to be able to get one or two things together. And I'm handing this over to you. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, Mr.
Yeah,
Olamiji.
I can hear you. Thank you very much,
All
Mr.
right.
Duman. I can hear you.
All right, thank you so very much. I can see Mr. Olamiji already creating his mood boards. Are you getting me now? Just to let you know that the approach we are using in Pixel Spores, nothing is pre-planned. Most of the design places design training you go for, they would have planned most things down. So he literally just thinks of a concept and he will come to execute the pre-sale. So this is a very good way you can learn as a creative professional. So you see how you get to know that people ahead of you are doing it, and it also helps you to form your own methodology and process or standard of operation, which we call SOP, on how to execute your own design brief. So Mr. Olamiji, over to you right away. I'm going to also open my Photoshop so I can also benefit from this.
Okay.
Take care, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Demola. So based on what Mr. Demola said, most of the design being done in Pixelpause are not pre-planned. So, and the reason is because so that you guys can understand the process properly. So you can see where adjustment has been made and the idea behind the concept. So it's not something that I've done earlier before the class. So it's just for you to enjoy the process and you see how it's being done. So majorly, I will first start from, as I said earlier, the idea for this design for today is to create a banner for a campaign, which is basically for star scouting. So star scouting is scouting for different sport athletes in different environment of sports, either big or small. So in bringing them together and encourage them and build them for the future. So the reason, so I went to check for, okay, what are the things that can make this more exciting? So I realized that it has to be fun. That's one thing. It has to be what's it called? It has to be fun, and it has to be creative. It has to be colorful. So, and it's basically between the age of 18 to what's the age? To 27. So this is where they are still, what's it called? Young at heart. So I needed to first create what's it called? The logo concepts, which is this. So the idea behind this logo concept, one, is to create something that is not really serious. So that is why I needed to do something around star zone. So the idea, the star with the campaign direction, the copy for the campaign is star zone. So I needed to do something around small and big. So different concepts. You can see we can get stars in different environments, either in a big environment or either in a smaller environment. And also the stars can be big, they can be small. So no matter how the size is, no matter how the personality is, you are a star. So that's the concept here first. Or no matter how the the sport environment that you're practicing, either athletics, either football, either basketball. So you are a star. So I need to work around that in creating different size in my logo. As you can see that this is straight, this is small, this is big. I have them small, big, small, big. So I need to create it like that. So I'll bring this to the side first. Then I want it to look a bit more sporty. So I needed to share it. So to make it to have this motion feeling. So I needed to share that. So this is the text I'll be using for my design. So what I'm now doing now is to get my mood board right, as you can see. So to get my mood board right, so I've come to basically what's it called, Pinterest, and I'm looking for different designs, basically cool design and how they are being arranged, so I can also get my idea properly. So I'm just going to pick different ideas that I feel will work for the design, and we are going to move forward. So I just think we should move. Okay, I think this, sorry. Let me go back to that. So I think I'm having issues with, okay. Okay. So let's just move forward, not to take our time. So I'm going to work with these two ideas that I have here already. So what I'll just do here is to first draw out my own idea of what I feel this should look like with these two ideas that I have here. So I'm going to just turn this into an outline. Then I'll pick my brush. So So I'm going to just do an idea. So the first thing we are doing it for is the basketball section. Before we move to other, what's it called? Other sports sections. So I'm going to draw, okay, according to what I have here, we can see that we have majorly a plain background, a subject, and a text. So let me work with this direction. So let me say I have my subject like this. Don't mind my drawing. So let me just say I have my subject standing like this. So one again is I want my subject to be a bit bigger in the face of whoever is checking. So I have my subject like this. So in my own concept, I'm going to have not really a plain background, but a playful background. So this will be the sky. So I'm going to do, let's say this will be a basketball pitch that will be here behind my subjects, but I'll make sure that the sky is a bit, what's it called, okay, in order to place my my text, so that there'll be more contrast. So then my text will be here, the star zone. Let me just draw it like this. So let me just say text will be around here. Then another text will be around here. So according to what I have here, just like we have it here. So that's one concept. So another concept again, let me just reduce this. So I'm bringing this here like this. So I'm going to follow this arrangement whereby I'll have my text on this side with my brush. Let me reduce. So I'll have my text on this side. Let me just do that. And also I'll have a plain background. So I'll have my subject around here like this. Let me just say like this. But in this, sorry, let me do that. In this idea, my subject might not be really big, but my text, will be more bigger than what's it called, my subject, according to what we have it here. So there will be an hierarchy. So the first thing I'll be seeing on this direction is the text. Then I'll have the subjects, either big or small, around, let me see. Let me just draw that. Around here like this. So I don't know what I'll be using yet. So around here like this. So my text will go here. So I want us to jump into Photoshop and just work on this planned idea that we have here. Stadimal, I guess you can hear me. Am I still here?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll be moving to Photoshop. You can see that I have some images down here. So the size I'll be using for this creative is the Instagram landscape size, which I see it is 1080 by 608. So let me check if, so I'm going to check my canvas size. So, and also that you can see 1080 by 608, and the resolution I'm using is 72 megapixel, sorry, DPI, that is doping. So this, I'm using 72. So I just want us to just jump into this. So the first thing I will do here is to cut out my subject I'll be using. So as I've said earlier, that this is for basketball section. So what I'll do next is, first thing first, is to cut out. So to make it easier, I'll be using the Photoshop subject selection, object selection here. So I'm just going to draw a square around this, and just switch on Photoshop to just cut out this section, the subject away. So in this concept yet, I really don't have a color in mind, but the color I have in mind basically is to have this orange feel. That's the direction I feel I want this to have, but I don't know yet. So let's just still move. So I'm going to check thoroughly to check what is selected and what is not selected, and make an adjustment to my selection. So on this part, I hold my Alt key. Yeah. Delete, select this one because I don't want this part to be selected. So I'm taking my hand away from Alt key. So on this part also, so I'm going to just select this part without my Alt key. So as you can see. So this is not really selected very well. So all I can just do is to bring my pen tool in and make sure my shape is not shape is part. So I'm going to draw with my pen tool so that I can get this part properly. So I'm just going to draw like that and come here again. So this is how to leave. So I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to go back here and just pick it and I'll write. Make selection. I'll just add to selection, but not a new selection. So you can see it has been added to my already selected areas. So I need to work on this. So I can just pick my lasso tool and just draw this, carefully draw this out like this, holding my Alt key. So that has been selected out. So I'll check again, which parts do I want to select out? So I want this to be selected. So this is just checking my selections before I cut them out. So I'm going to come to select, come to modify, and come to contract, sorry. So now I'll press 1. So it will take my selection inside a bit. So as you can see, this is what I had before, and this is what I have now. My selection has been taken inside a bit. So I'm going to just click on my, sorry. I'm going to just click on my icon here. That's the layer mask icon. So you can see that some part have been taken off. But if you check, it's like some part of my selections here have been taken away also. It's fading. So what I'm going to do is to click on my selection, my brush, my B for brush, increase my opacity, then reduce the size of the brush. Make sure your foreground color is white. So I'm just painting this so that I can regain my selection back. So I need that to be selected back. So, and I think that is that. So I'm going to just basically right click this, Ctrl D first, then right click apply layer mask. So I think I still have something to do here. Let me still click on that selection. So this is how you have to check your selection. When you're a professional, you don't just, how will I put it? Just leave everything for Photoshop to do for you. So you have to also check. So that's what makes your work much better. So Ctrl D again, apply, then convert it to smart objects. I think most of you know the reason why I convert my elements to smart objects now is to still retain the quality. So I'm going to reduce this because the resolution of this won't match up with the resolution of what I have on the other board. So I have to reduce it so that it will match a bit. Ctrl C and Ctrl V. So I'm going to bring that in. And you can see that it's still a bit more bigger. So I'm going to reduce it. And I'll bring this to the side like this. I'll just tilt it a bit like this, yes. So bring that to the side like this. And I feel this is okay. So I'm going to keep this like this. So the next thing to do is to bring other elements that we'll be using. So I think everything is stored here. So I'm going to look for the thing I want to add next. So I want to bring in a city view, but before that, I'm going to bring in my sky. As you can have it, and I'm going to increase it. like this. Increase it like this and take it up. As you can see, I said I want an orange feel kind of design, so I'm going to leave it here like this. Then the next thing again, so this is to bring in the city view that I want to, what's it called, I want to use, or the basketball. Yes, let's try this. So I'm going to bring this in like that. So the first thing is to first work on my background. So all I'm just going to do here is to take some part away from here. So how will I do that? Just put my pen tool and just be careful, select what I need to select away. I need this thing, but so let's see what I can do to that. So I'm just going to select like this. This was basically a rough selection. I'm going to just select out. So make selection. And Control I to bring back what I selected. So you can see I have that area, but these edges are a bit what's it called? A bit hard. So I need to first of all create that feather around so you can see it's a bit more softer now. So I'll just bring this like this to the side and Control T, increase it, sorry, scale it up a bit and bring it down because it won't show. Yeah. So let me see whether I need to match up my sky. So I'll look for another sky that I downloaded. So I have this. So I'm going to also bring this in. So and see how I can match up my sky together. So layer mask, B. So I'll make sure my B is soft. It's a soft brush as is here. So my foreground is black. So I can paint away some parts. It's too much. So let me change the blender mode and see which blender mode can work with this. So if there's, I think, so I'm going to leave it like this first and come to Command U, which is hue and saturation, and pick magenta. Then just draw like that. And I'll come again, pick yellow, and see how this can match very well with this. So I'll try and work out something around here, increase it, and see how they can match much better. Hue and saturation. So take away some parts here like this and increase my sky a bit more. Still increase it. Yeah, I feel this is okay. So Command L, which is levels. I'll use my levels to just adjust that part so that I can fit a bit more into into the other one. So I need to work on that. So on top of everything, I'm going to create a layer. Then I'm going to pick from here like this. Make sure my opacity is low, a bit lower. And this also low, like that. So I'm just going to create something. Sorry, it should be beneath here. So something that can create a match between the two sky. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So as you can also see that my sky, this light here is also a bit, what's it called, coming down here. And also this part is a bit more darker than this part. So as you can see, that is following it little by little. So I'm going to reduce that a bit like that. So the next thing here is to work on my, how will I put it, the ground to a bit fit into the sky. So let me first put this in a group like this. So I'm going to work on, just press Ctrl L. That's for levels. Increase it a bit. So yeah, and I'll come to Control. Don't let me use Control here. So let me use curves. Power clip it inside and come to your RGB here, and I'll pick blue. So what gives us orange is yellow and red. So how can I get yellow and red? Because I'm not trying to work with brightness or darkness here. I'm trying to work with color. So instead of using color balance, sometimes I use curve. So and the opposite of blue in the color histogram is, what's it called, is yellow. So I'm going to take this down so I can get a feel of yellow like that. So I'll come for red. So for red, you just have to take my red up a bit so I can get that red feeling. Yeah. So I'm going to create a layer on top of everything like that. So I'm just going to press this, reduce it, and just let it, don't let it touch this guy here. So I'm just going to do it like this and still come here and do it like this. So because this is like a sky, so it has to give me one foggy feel. So let me just use here. So I'm going to make it look like this. Yes. So I'm going to keep this. I'm not going to bring this here and make it just a BG. So we'll come back to that. So that I bring in my subject. Reduce R like that. So now, first thing first is to fit R into the background so they will have the same feeling. So is to just blend that into the background. So let me reduce that a bit more. So let me still make this side show. So first thing first, I'm going to bring my levels adjustment layer, power clip, sorry, what happened? Levels, then power clip it inside my subjects, and yes, increase that a bit, lighten up, then create a contrast, a lighter. Yes, I have that. But sorry, before my levels and adjustments, the first thing I want to do here is to come to filter and use camera raw. So just to sharpen up, I'll come to texture and I'll come to clarity. So I'll reduce my veneer, the haze. I'll increase my D8 so she can be a bit more stronger, and I'll reduce my saturation a bit. Yeah, increase my vibrance, reduce my saturation a bit. I want her to be a bit lighter, so I will just increase the exposure, increase the shadow, then white, increase it, then reduce the black, and I'll press OK. So I'll bring out my, so you can see this, so I have to reduce my levels a bit. So the next thing I have to do here is start using color balance, but color balance sometimes doesn't work for me. So I use selective color. So now I work basically with the red on our body and see what filter. So I'll work on the cyan. So this will give you more cyan. If I take it here to give me more red, so I'll work on the red. So magenta, I'll work on the magenta fill because I have a magenta fill on the background here. So I'll basically increase the magenta. The yellow, I will give her a yellow fill also. Then the black. So that's for the red. So I'll come for the yellow. So for the red on yellow. So let me see which one works. This has too much red, so I'm going to give her a fill of little cyan. Then magenta. So this works. So I'll leave it around 2. Then yellow. I'll give her a bit more of yellow. So the yellow on her body.
All right. So yeah, we can hear you. So for those attending this session, please take note that if you have any question, please try as much as possible to jot your questions down or drop it in the chat question so that Mr. Olamiji can go back to it during the session. Are you getting it? So if there's anything you don't understand or you don't want to interrupt, just drop it in the chat session. It's you'll see the chat session. You get where your image is, and you can take care of it at the end of the session. Thank you very much, Mr. Olamiji. Keep up the good job, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll basically increase the yellow on our body, the yellow colors on our body. Then I don't think I have something to do with magenta. So let me see if there's any magenta on our body. So not really on our body. So I'm going to come to white, neutral, and black. So white here stands for the lighter parts, but in color balance, they call it highlight. So that's for white. And for the mid-tone, that's the neutral. And for the black is the shadow. So I'll come to white so and see white on our body. So for the cyan, I'm going to work with red, magenta. Let me see. I'll work with yellow. So you can see that we are having a bit of yellow on our body. Let me increase, zoom it in so that you guys can see. Then for the yellow, I'll increase the yellow a bit, like this. So I'll lighten it up because I'm doing the white. Then I'll come to the neutral. So this is the mid-tone. So if I see, you can see. So I want red to be there. Then magenta a bit, but not too much. Let me see. I'll leave it like this. Then yellow. Yellow also shouldn't be too much. Then the black. Like that. Yeah. Then I'll come to black. This for shadow filling. So I'm going to, magenta. Yes. A bit of magenta. Yes. And yellow. Then black. I don't want her to be too black. So she can blend into the what's it called, because it's an outside filling. So it shouldn't be, how will I put it? It shouldn't be too, there should be little shadow. So it doesn't have to be too dark. So I'm going to give her this easy feel. Yes. So basically I can make this one affect only colors, as you can see, but it's taking away what I had before. So I'm going to leave it like that, like this. So I'm going to come back to my Just pick her and increase her a bit. And tilt it like this. Yeah. So you can see what we have now. So I'll come to my background and just basically I will use color balance a bit for my background and just work with yellow and magenta, red. That's for mid-tone. Highlight, take it to the yellow side, a bit of magenta and red bits. Then for the shadow, I don't think we have yellow, so let me just do yellow, magenta, but I'll make this affect only colors. As you can see, it will affect only colors. So I'm going to use I'll make the blending mode colors. So it only affects colors and not the lights on the background. Or it's on the background, yeah. So the next thing I will do here is to do this and convert my BG into a smart object. So I'm going to increase like that and take her to the side a bit like this, because I said earlier that I want that basketball, this thing to show. So what I'll do here, so I'm going to convert this to a raster object now. Then I want to do something. I don't want to blur everything out like that. So there's this tool here that I use sometimes, which is called blur, because I want to blur out some parts. So I'll make the strength around 50. So I think 55 will be okay. Yes. So I'll start my blur, because if I'm using it, if I make it a smart object, it won't work. So that's why I needed to convert it to rasterize. So I'll start. So I'll just blur out some part like that, as you can see. Sorry. So before that, so not to make this destructive. So not to make this destructive, I'll go back. I'm pressing my Ctrl Z like this. So now I'm going to convert, I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to take this under the smart object one and convert it to rasterize back. So the reason why I did that is that if I have any issues, I can come back to this. And you can see that if I click on my smart objects, everything is still intact. Everything is still intact. So I have to keep that. So I'll come back here, hide this, then come back here and start using the tool again. So now I want to work on the lightning on what's it called? Let me see, is that enough? B. Let me still, it's a bit far away. She should look like she's a bit far away from that scene. So that's why I'm trying to use the blur tool. So the next thing I want to do here is to focus on the lighting on her body. So I'm going to duplicate this like this. Sorry, I said duplicate. Group it and also group this and still make this BG. So I make this subject. So the next thing I'll do here is to come here. First of all, press B, select a part on a background. Sorry, before that, select out and select a part like this. Let me just pick this. Yes. Create a layer and just press. So that'll be Alt and Delete. So I'll click it inside and I'll use, let me use screen. Let me see which one works. So screen works. Create a layer and just hide it with black. Then I'll press B, which is my brush. I'll make my flow around 20, 25, should be okay. Then opacity is okay like this, so it will be a bit subtle. Then I'll start. painting like that. Reduce my brush. And also on this part. So I'm still going to create the light source. I've not created that yet. But not too much on her because she's far from the, for what's it called? She's a bit far from the source. So the next thing here, as you can see, is to come, create the light source on the background. I'm just going to, yes, B, and pick this part here. That's my Alt, and just click. Then I'm going to create a subtle light source like this around, and I'm going to make it screen. Then create another layer and click on the magenta bit part here. Just there's another layer. Or make it overlay. Yeah. So on our body, I'll create a curve and basically just increase like this, and then come to red, come to blue, yes, and come to red and increase the red also like this. I think I have it, and I'll hide it. B, and I will make this on some part I want it to be bright a bit. So this part of our body will be a bit more brighter than this part of our body. As you can see, this is what I'm doing. So the next thing I'm going to do again is to create the same curve and just reduce a few. Same thing, red, increase, then blue, reduce, and I'm going to hide it. So I'm going to just paint this part. So this part can be a bit not too light, a bit darker. So that's for this part. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to create a layer on top of them. Pick this, yes, and just paint it like this. Paint it around here like this. And give it a blending mode that fits. So I'll come back to my subject. So I'm going to sharpen eye bits, or instead of that, let me just use the curve on her. Yes. Yeah. So I just reduce where the light is more concentrated, also on this part that is eye here. So I'll just have to reduce it a bit like that. So on this part again, I'll pick the darker part on her body. So I'll pick this, increase my saturation and opacity a bit, and just make this bit this side a bit darker. Use multiply, then increase it and drag it down a bit. Yeah. So I want to say, reason why I'm liking this color fill is giving me this streets vibe. So, and when they are picking stars, they go on the street sometimes. So this is one. So as you can see, my subject that we have some what's it called on here. So I'm going to come back to my subject and click. Yeah, so I'm going to come here and deselect those things that I have. So this is why I make it a smart object in case of if I have issues. So I'm just going to create. So select, then go in, select contrast. Let me make it 2. And just press, sorry. So let me delete this. I'll do that again. Select, contrast, 2. So and I'll press this. So those part goes inside a bit. So what I just have to select this, press my B, reduce my brush, increase it more. So I think that is done. And I'll press Ctrl D and Ctrl S. So if I cancel this, that is adjusted on. So I still have it here. I have to go back and do that. So what I'll do next is to create a solid layer. Thank you. Bring it under and see, yes, I need to clean this part. Or delete. Alt and delete. Alt and delete. This part also. Sorry, that's too much. Alt and delete. And just increase the feather a bit like that. I will delete this and I'll press Command S back to save. And I can cancel this. Yeah, that's okay. That's on. So the next thing I'll do here is to bring in the copy this, Command C, and come here, back to Photoshop, let it be at the top, Command V, and make it a shape. And I'll do this here like this. So, can give in white. As you can see here, and I'll come to my, I'll come to drop shadow, yeah, and I'll pick color from here. So I'll make this, let me go to where I have magenta and I'll give it a bit of magenta filling, magenta and red. So I'll still come down a bit. Having this purple feel also. So let me stay within magenta and purple. So let me first do magenta first. Let me stay here. Make it a bit darker like that. That is okay. Then I'll create another one, plus, then increase the size. That's too much. Then give it a purple feel. Let it come down a bit. Then I'll come to so I'm going to reduce the size. It's too much. So I'll come back here and reduce this one size also. Let me reduce the size a bit also. I think it's okay. So I'll come to the second one again. I'll maybe call it a bit darker. Yes. Then let me see if I can reduce the size once more. So when I'm done with this, I'll come to my effect and right click, and I'll pick create, where is it? So I'll pick create layer. Okay. So now what it has done for me is like I separated everything away from this. So for this one now, I can do the adjustments myself. Basically, we can do this on Illustrator. So Ctrl T, I can just adjust this myself, take it up, bring this in. So for this one also, Command T with my Shift key. So I can just bring it down a bit. But that's not working. So for some part that are not working here, all I can do is so I want to cover this part that we have, some part that I have around here. So how can I do that? So I'll come to that. Let me just come to that later. So I'm going to take this, make this, you know what, to be on a more serious side. Let me do that on Illustrator. So I'm going to make this white. Let's see if it will work. Then I'll come here and just select everything, make it one, like that. And I'll come to objects. Then the next thing, I'll come to parts, offset parts is being increased. I'll reduce the bits. So I'll just pick everything and bring it here and take it down. So let me give it that color fill again. And take it down. And group. Yeah. So I can adjust this over here like this. Then just duplicate this, Ctrl D, Ctrl C, Ctrl F, take it down, and just bring it a bit down, like that. Add a bit of magenta, and just make it darker. So let me adjust this. So let me do this and adjust this also, like this. So I think I have it much more better here. So, and also let me adjust this out very well. So all I just have to do here. Now, to be more on the silver side, I'm going to create a new, just a new layer, like that. I'll copy this like this, Command C, Command V. So now I'll come to layer part here. I'll create a new layer and select everything I have here like this. Everything I have here. And I'll drag them, Command G first. Create a new layer. So everything I have here, like this, I'll drop them on a new layer, like that. And for this one also, all of the things I have for this, so I'm going to just hide this, select everything here, deselect this, and just match together as one. Come back here, sorry, layers. So create a new layer, click on this, and bring it here, like that. So this also is on another layer like this. So I have them on separate layers. So I'll come here, Command C. Now come to here. Let me just hide this. Command V. And I'll come to layers and I'll press OK. Now increase and just take it to the side. Like this. And I'll see ungroup them. Pick this. So these are all parts. I'll convert, merge as shape. So this becomes one shape here. So I can select it and bring it out. So I can hide this. This one also is also a shape. Then the last one also here is also in shape. I'll just select it. Then click on this. Everything I have here like this. And delete. So everything here is in shape form. So I can just pick here, select, and pick the color that I have already here before, and press OK. I can delete this guy or hide it. Then for this also, I have here. So select this guy here, click on it, and select this color I have here. So I can also hide this guy. So you can see, I have what I wanted to do. So it's better to do it here. And I still have them more as, what's it called? As shape. Yeah. So this is done. So I'm going to bring in, let me just put this in a group and just hide it. Yes. So increase my brush and I'll pick some color fill from here. Just paint to give it that feeling that, so they can match together. So I'm going to make it no screen. Yes, overlay and reduce. Not too much. So I'll pick this also and just like that. Then create another one again. Then make it yellow and put it a bit closer to her like this. Now increase it and take it to the side. like that, and I'll make it screen. Not too close. Yeah. So let me bring in my other text. So I'm going to write it out. So I'll make it antique because that's the font I'm using. So but that'll be here. And I'm going to make it either 2 lines or 3 lines. I'll make it side view. Then let me use 15, so I can take it back. So I'm going to make these whites. And just reduce a bit. And press Ctrl T and skew. So I will just skew it like this. Like this. So I'm going to copy this and bring it here and just reduce. And I'll put it by the side here. And I'll take my brush on top of it, reduce my brush, make it, increase the smoothing. I want it to basically add, reduce it and make it white. Sorry. I'm going to reduce it like this. I'm going to use my mouse to just, is it reduced? So I have to draw that again. So let me reduce mine. Yes. I'm just going to do that like that and convert it to a smart object. I have to do that again. B. Create a layer. Or basically what I can do here is to pick my brush tool and here, make this, how will I put it? Don't fill that. Fill this with white. This is another method. And just, I can, instead of draw pen, I'll use curvature. So I can just draw. As much. So, and Ctrl T to just work on the way it looks like. So I can increase the, can increase the size. So come here. So it's a shape like that. I can just reduce. I want it to just be around there like this and smaller. and delete this. Then Command Alt E, select them like that, and I'll come to curves. Sorry, just increase it like this, and I'll make it luminosity. Then I'll come to hue and saturation. Just increase the saturation a bit like that. Pick yellow, increase the yellow a bit. Pick red, increase the red a bit. Then I'll come to magenta, then increase the magenta a bit. Then I'll come here, affect only color. I can still, sorry, take this away. Yeah. So I'll press Shift Alt Control E, convert to smart objects. Now come to filter, camera raw filter. Increase the vibrance, increase the saturation a bit. Then here, the shadow, increase the white, reduce the black a bit, increase the contrast a bit. And I'll come to texture, increase the texture, increase its clarity. There's this, increase this also a bit like this. Sorry, let me just go down and work with my color. So I'm just going to tilt it. So that yellow fill is out. So here, so you can see the difference. So I'm going to just keep this like this. So I'm going to just keep it like this, duplicate it. This, still the same thing. So what I'm going to do here is to hide this, my background, convert to smart objects. I'm going to hide this, delete this, all this like this, delete them, hide this, and remain only my subjects. Yeah, so I can delete this. Then for my background, come here, pick blur. Motion blur, make it straight blur, like that. Then blur again, Gaussian blur. I'm going to increase it a bit. Then Command T and increase it more. So I'll put a color in front. Just create a layer B. Increase my brush. Basically, make it smaller, 100. Pick these parts and paint. Click on my camera raw filter, increase the contrast, increase the texture, increase the white, press OK. Then on top of that, create a layer, B, pick this, and make it, so sorry, let me pick darker ones, reduce it like that, on top of my subject, increase it. So on top of this guy, you can create another layer. I'll pick this, and I'll still paint. Then I will basically reduce it like this. So on top, pick these parts. Yeah. And make it green. So my subject, I'm going to reduce this color fill, selective color a bit, and create something a bit faster on that. So I'm going to make this so let me reduce this opacity and reduce the flow, and I can paint it like that. The same thing here. Not too much on our head because the light is coming from behind. So like this. So I'm going to come here and just write African pattern. I use it often. So I'm going to pick something like this. I think it's even on free pick. So let me just go on free pick and just write it African pattern. Let me see whether, okay, this has load. So I'll come to and pick it from free pick. I think we have it already here. So I'll just download it like that. So copy image, I think that's taking time. So I'll just copy it, come to Corel Draw, I say Corel Draw. Hide this on my background. Command V, Command U, or I can make it basically work like this. Yeah, colorize it, then lighten it up a bit, increase saturation, and let it just flow within the color that I have here. Convert it to a smart object, increase that, then I'll use, so on my subjects, on everything like that, I'm going to create a color balance layer, red, increase the red on her, decrease the yellow on her, like that. So we can blend more with the background that we have. So I'm going to come here, leave this the way it is, bring this, select this, select this, select this, and bring them to the side. We have it like this, and take this to the side like this. So on my subject parts, I'm going to select and bring her like this. You know, select this again, bring it a bit down. So now, on top of that, on top of everyone, B, pick this because it has to match with the light that is on our body before. So I'm going to pick this. I'm going to increase it a bit like that. Then you can reduce the effects on it. Same thing here, but just subtle. And create another layer. I'll pick this guy or the darker part and I'll paint it a bit smaller, but take it down to this guy here. Then make it overlay and reduce the fill. It gives me some burnt feeling. Then on my subject again, the color, let me increase the yellow a bit. Yeah. So let me make this the same layer with this. So I can take this up a bit. Like that on the same layer. Then my three guys can just stay up like this. So yeah, so select this, take these two things, put them in. So the one we don't need, I delete this. So I bring this back like that, and Command Shift E, convert to a smart object. Oh God. So that's it. Then convert to smart object, sorry. Then camera raw filter, and just increase the vibrance, increase the texture, and increase clarity a bit like this. Press OK. So as you can see, this is one option and this is another option. So now we come to the end of this section for today. So next week we'll do other concept of it. So that will be the end. So if you have any question, so you can ask and tell me which concept which you feel is okay for you. Stadiman, are you there?
Oh, definitely, I'm here.
Stadiman, are you? Okay, so I'm through with.
All right, so thank you so much.
So if you have any questions.
So please, if you have any question, this is a great opportunity for you to ask your question and Mr. Olamiji is here to basically attend to you. And so if you have any questions based on either his method or his process, this is going to be a fantastic time to basically ask. I want to appreciate everybody that attended the session. So what Mr. Olamiji basically did was that he did 2 samples of the design so that we can basically work with. So like I said, the main vision of Pixels Pulse is to ensure that what we go through design experience for you or design processes for you from ideation to completion. And like I always say, our instructor, Mr. Olamiji, doesn't really get prepared, so you see him tweak things up a bit, change things a bit. I would believe that as creative professionals and designers, sometimes, especially after we've known how to use all the tools, we might not necessarily need, you get what I'm trying to learn more about tools, but more about understanding creative processes. It's just like learning how to drive. Most cases, once you've known all the principles of driving, how to check your mirror, how to check your rear view, how to put the brake pedal, apply the brake brakes. Sometimes what you basically need is to watch someone drive to know how to drive. So he's been a driving instructor and he's taking you through the journey of his creative process on how to drive. So for those that are watching on YouTube, for those that are attending live, this session is going to be on YouTube. For those that are watching on YouTube, you can view the link below to follow Mr. Olamiji. And also for those that are also watching on YouTube, you also need to understand the fact that the link below to join the community is also what's available. Like I said earlier on, the link to join the community is what's available for you to be a part of the processes and all the things that we basically want to do there. So for you to join, go to creativecommunity.com to be a part of this session. Mr. Olamiji, can you just basically click the show the second view so that those that are the second creative that you basically worked on, so that those that attend can be a part of it. The second one, you did 2 options. So what you showed earlier on was just the first option. So this is the first option that we did throughout this training session. And can we see the second option, please? All right, and this is the second one. We've seen this one, second one, please. And this is the second option that we did. And the idea behind this brief is scouters that are scouting basketball leagues, you creating designs for them. All right, okay. So thank you so very much for everybody attending the session. This was done in 1 hour 30 minutes. So it's going to be uploaded on YouTube. The link is going to be dropped on all our community platforms, so you can rewatch it, practicalize it. The best way to maximize sessions like this is to ensure that you practice it immediately. Don't move it to tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday. There's a 80% chance that you will forget most of the processes. When you practicalize it immediately, some of the things that you've picked up in the session becomes a part and parcel of you and a part of your design process. Our greatest joy as people that are bringing this session to you is to see you grow in your creative journey. So I want people to thank Mr. Olamiji for always creating time out of no time to ensure that what it takes for this session. His YouTube handle is going to be shared with you in the next 2 hours. Just give us 2 hours to prepare the thumbnails, give us 2 hours to prepare the YouTube copies, and you get to us right now so that we can upload it properly on YouTube, so that YouTube algorithm can pick it up and propagate it properly. But in the next 2 hours, you get to us right now. So that's going to be most likely around West African time zone. That's most likely going to be like around 9 o'clock. For those that are in other time zones, you can just do the calculation to see it. So Mr. Olamiji, any final words for everybody that is attending the session? Because we're finishing a bit earlier today.
Okay. Yeah, I'll firstly thank you for attending the class. And also, just to bring your note to the design that was done, is that you can see that I ended up having how will I put it, an orange fill color. So the thing is that, and because the campaign is around Africa, and something that is more associated with African color is orange. Something that is bright, that is the orange color fill. So whenever I'm doing something that is concentrated on Africa, I like using that fill. So if you check on the design, it has this orange feel. So that was the reason why I majorly was banked on that. And the color scheme I later ended up is the analogous color scheme. If you can see that, I work within the orange, purple, and the magenta feel. And that I got that idea basically from the sky. I did. So that was how it ended to end up in that color feel. So, and this is the reason why I made this a process thing. So it shouldn't be like, it's pre-planned. It's just bringing it down for us to just see how it does it. So you guys can also understand that sometimes as you're working, the ideas start coming up. So you start arranging and putting things together. But first of all, make sure you've done your research. You have a background knowledge of what you want to do. And as you are ideating and as you are bringing things up, things start coming up, then you start merging them together. So that's how it is. Thank you very much.
All right, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for this amazing session once again. Like I always say, ensure that what you join the community is creativecommunity.com, and for those that are on the community platform, to the left bottom you see all our WhatsApp platforms. You can always join. Now for those of you that are going to be down the WhatsApp platform, we're going to continue these conversations there. When you do your designs, you do your creatives, ensure that what you tag us at ACE Academy _NG, or you post on all our community platforms. So let's see your processes, let's see your various experiences, and let's create what's engagement concerning this. Our greatest joy is to see you grow as a creative work professional. So Mr. Olamiji, thank you so very much. We really appreciate it.
And also, right? Thank you very much. Yeah, also I just want to put that next class we'll be doing basically the portrait direction. And I'll show you the opportunities you have more with portraits and stuff like that. So if you are interested, just make sure you're in the class next week. I said next week, sorry, next session.
Next month, just July. So we're going to be sharing the dates on all our various platforms. So please ensure you're part of this platform so you don't miss it. We usually share it most cases a week ahead or the exact week that the session is going to be taking place. All right. So thank you so very much for attending these sessions. Like I always say, even though it's a free session, the universal currency that we all have, and you get to right now to execute our goals on this blue planet or this blue called Earth is our time. So even though it's free, you have invested your time, and that is an unquantifiable currency. So thank you so very much, Mr. Olamiji, for being a part of this session.
Thank you.
For impacting people, and we pray and we believe that what you would always be replenished because you've impacted what lives in ways that cannot be rewarded like no other. So please go to his YouTube handle, follow him on all his social media platforms. Let's increase this engagement. Subscribe to the YouTube handle, because when you subscribe and his YouTube handle increases, obviously at some point you'll be able to start getting more leverage on those followership. So thank you so very much, because it's going to be pushing out more content for you, and you understand what I'm saying right now. Thank you for being a part of this, and like I always say, in all that you do, keep acing it. Until we see again in our next session, my name is Demola Jericho, the founder of Ace Creative Community, and with me is
Olamiji Bello, founder of Rebels Media. Thank you very much.
All right. See you on the next one. Do have an amazing week ahead. Cheers.